We're live in London and we're bringing you more from the FACEIT Major, as we've just witnessed Big have a reality check from Vega Squadron. The masters are the gatekeepers of getting to that legend stage of the FACEIT Major. Challenges for now, and the challenge continues for HellRaisers as they go up against a team poised to glide to that challenger stage, or rather that legend stage, I should say. This is where we reside now. Introductions are in order. I'm your host, Machine, and I do have two beautiful human beings who have given me the luxury of their company to talk about some Counter-Strike. We have Chad Sponge Birchall swapping out from the Dapsaroo of earlier, and we have Jacob Pimp Venica. I like Jimp.
Jimp is pretty cool.
That's a deviation. You know, you were called Pip for a bit. We can mix it up. Pamp. He gets called a lot of things.
Big Daddy Pimp.
Big Daddy Pimp.
I told him that he should change his alias like Notel did in Dota.
Big Daddy Pimp.
Big Daddy Pimp.
I love it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Because he used to be called the Flower, right? No-Tail. That's what he used to be called.
Really?
And he's like, no, I'm Big Daddy No-Tail. He's got sass. And he wins TI, so, you know. There's some things to that. Anyway, back to Counter-Strike, and quick reminder about those social media goodness. You can head over to hashtag FACEIT Major. Nice and easy to remember, even though I keep forgetting it. Hashtag FACEIT Major. That's a hashtag with my fingers.
You're cool, man.
Yeah.
You're hip.
I'm down with the kids.
You're hip and retro.
Do you know who else is hip and retro? Twists. Do you know what team he's on? Liquid. Let's talk about them first, gentlemen, because these are exciting.
So
are you part of the hype train?
I'm part of the hype train, and I think Chad is part of the hype train too, especially about Twist here.
I'm the conductor. I'm the conductor of the train.
Okay.
They're the train. I'm not on board. I'm just watching them go past because they're going so quick that they're going to win the major. But yesterday, they looked absolutely clinical against Optic on a map that wasn't the strongest in their map pool before coming into this this major, right? Before, the last time they played was almost 40 days ago, and that was the grand final of E-League over where they played Astralis. And they didn't get a map there, but they made one of them relatively close. Coming into this one, I just think the boot camp that they've had, the practice that they put in, the way that they've had a chance to fix their map pool, with the fact they do have Twists, they do have a Liege, they do have NAF, who in my opinion is the best trio in North American Counter-Strike right now, and maybe one of the best trios in the world, is bloody brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, the list does kind of get right. You feel like you've listed the whole team when you start talking about their strengths at this point, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to mention Taco, who won 3 major championships, 2 major championships. Two. Well, there you go. It's just a team that is finally, I feel, well-rounded. They have the AVP player Nitro. They made it work with the 5 rifle setup, and now him being the main AVP when needed. As said, Nafly, Twist, Elise, probably the 3 deadliest rifles right now in not only North America, but also in the world. And then on the far side, you have Zeus, you know, being their coach, who's a guy who's been able to form this team around the way he wants to play Counter-Strike. Ever since he joined Team Liquid, it's been a steady progression to getting better and better and better, and I think we're finally going to see them, you know, flourish all that work, flourish all that potential into a major win now.
Yeah, and of course it's games like this where they just have to maintain. This is where, if you are going to be that team that everyone has the expectations for you to be, it's these games that you can't underestimate, you can't come in unprepared, and we just want to see Retro Team Liquid.
I mean, I used the same reference to the big game against Vega, where I said they just need to cruise through this one. They don't have to show anything, play a standard game, and just, you know, hide as much as they can. And I still think that's the case for Team Liquid here. They don't need to do anything specific in order to win this game. They just need to be Team Liquid, play their game, and hide as much as possible, basically. Yeah,
and with that said, your rosters and your teams are brought to you by DreamTeam.gg, and your next one, HellRaisers. Not a team to be underestimated, as we've already insinuated. It's, of course, they have raised hell. They are in the 1-0 bracket, and already we have some incredible performances from the individuals. Issa, actually, on your screens right now, was spectacular yesterday.
Yeah, Peter from HLTV.org had a crazy stat. Voxic and Issa combined had, you know, more ADR than the rest of the entire team in that matchup. That should have never gone to overtime. Right? That should not have got to that point. But look, those two players as a duo, coming from where they've come, you know, up through FPL, they've made it to the stage, and now they've been nurtured by Angel and Jonta, and gone through another bunch of people to go through the HellRaisers project, so to speak, and they're showing that they are an absolutely deadly force to be reckoned with.
It's a gorgeous storyline, it really is. You know, underrepresented nations in Counter-Strike, the likes of Jordan for Issa, Turkey for Woxic, and they've come through the FPL circuit. They've managed to get recognition in ways previously teams could, or rather players could not do, and now they find themselves in a roster with a win versus North. Of course, champions of DreamHack Stockholm. This was just last week.
We did say, I think Jacob and I said when we started the show yesterday, that North were potentially one of the teams with the biggest potential to choke. I don't think that they choked. I think HellRaisers is a really good team. But, you know, that loss coming in, it wasn't hugely surprising. There was a lot of pressure on their shoulders coming off the back of a win. What did they get, 3 days to really soak in that victory and that trophy before they're thrown back into reality, and now they really need to focus up. But with the focus on HellRaisers right here, I want to kind of talk about Angel, because from an in-game leader perspective, he always seems to have in his positions, he leads to go to get jobs done on his own.
Yeah.
Right? He'll push out and he'll just try and either sell a fake or get some kills, and they can base the rest of the timing off him. And I used to like in-game leading in a similar way, because when you want a job right, you do it yourself. You don't leave it up to other people, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's an interesting approach, and it's not one that we see with the top 5 teams in the world so much.
Leading from the front line?
Maybe Carrigan does it from time to time.
MSL used to do it before he switched over to the AVP as well. It's one of those scenarios where, as you said, like if you're an in-game leader and you're basically a control freak, you want to do it your way and you want to make sure it's done right. Not everyone is. Yeah, I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Did it hurt? Did the reality hurt?
A little bit.
Time? Yeah.
But there's these types of in-game leaders who are a little bit control freaky, who sometimes need to accept that there are players on the team who can do the job just as well or maybe even better than yourself. And it's sort of like a discussion and a reflection you have to have within the team in order to find the right chemistry between the players.
And chemistry exists, of course, between both of these rosters. Both teams do seem to be very much in that team as opposed to 5 individuals stage in their development. And in the head-to-head, we do have none other than Naf and Issa. Now, Naf, we haven't talked enough about this guy. Issa, definitely a player to keep your eyes on. He has been nothing but a backbone for HellRaisers. But Naf, Pimp, this seems to be a player that has received his fair share of praise this last year.
Yeah, last year he came out of nowhere, I almost feel like. He was good in Optic back in the days when he was like the 3rd or 4th best player on the team, and he was always like a rock stable player, I feel. But when he joined Liquid, it took off really, really fast. He went from being a great player to one of the players we in the entire world rated as a top 5, top 10 player, at least individually speaking, and that's not something you normally like connect with a guy like Naf. So he's been able to step it up a notch, and he's been able to elevate this Liquid lineup from being a top 5 team in the world to being a team that you can reckon with, and you can actually stand behind winning a major tournament like this. So definitely a lot of pressures on his shoulders as well. If he wants to go far in this tournament, Nef has to be here the entire time.
Yeah, just a quick reminder as well that head-to-head was brought to you by The Predator, which is in theaters September 14th, and the veto has commenced. Best of
the
luck.
Chopper.
We just had Chopper as well. Oh my god, we should have made Chopper the head-to-head.
That's what happens. I'm normally here thinking about things, but I was in bed. Anyway, look, if we look at these videos as they're coming through, the maps that are good for HellRaisers are the maps that Liquid are most likely to ban. That's the Overpasses, the Train, and the Dust 2s of the world. I think we're going to be left with an Inferno or Mirage, where HellRaisers will have the choice between the two, giving Liquid the chance to pick the side. And that's the case.
I really hope for the sake of HellRaisers it's going to be a Mirage. I think Inferno is going to be extremely hard for HellRaisers to do anything on, and there we go. I mean, it is...
They've got a strong online win percentage, but we don't know how much they've actually played, unfortunately. Those stats don't tell us too much.
Nah, I mean, Inferno's not a bad map for HellRaisers. It's just the organization within Team Liquid and the players they have. If you think about it, CT side Inferno, what makes Astralis so good is that every man can hold for himself. Like, even on the B bomb side with Claim and Sutnik, that's a strong duo. Now, if you think towards Team Liquid, they have those 3 rifles spread out across the map, and what are you going to do about it?
The one weakness that I do see, and this seems like a really ridiculous thing to point out as a weakness for Liquid, is the B defenders of Elise and Naf. Now, they're 2 of the best players in the whole team. You're thinking, Chad, what are you saying? It doesn't feel like, at least when I watched them previously, before coming into this event, that they played together very well. If they had to stand up and get a 3K, they could, but if they got caught off guard and things kind of crumbled, then it would fall apart on that bomb site. Now, if they've worked on it, which they probably definitely have throughout their boot camp, that defense over there is going to be so much stronger. You also have another pivot point, which is Nitro over towards the Arch side. Sure, he's doing the work on the AWP, but he's not a natural, or he didn't come up as an AWPer. It's something which has only happened over time. So if he's not feeling it, if he's missing his shots, if he's not, leading from the front or leading with confidence, they are weaknesses that I do see, but
it does tell quite a story when the only weaknesses you see is Nef and Elise, right, on a bomb site together.
Yeah.
That tells quite the story around this Team Liquid lineup. And I'm 100% sure that at the bootcamp, this has been one of their focus points. Because you're right, like, their B defense was not the strongest on Inferno.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to seeing if it does get tested by HellRaisers. As you can see, our predictions do all go one direction and one direction only, and that's the strong Liquid horse from here at the analyst desk and the caster desk, which is where we're going next. A whole lot of fun is that we haven't really seen these two teams meet. In fact, we haven't seen them play against each other since 2017, and therefore, of course, the rosters have changed and everyone is playing a whole lot different Counter-Strike. An unknown entity for us as viewers, and our casters will be guiding you through it all. It's James Bardolph and Dan Capadia.
Capadia?
He said it wrong, James. He said it wrong.
That's a new one. That's a new wrong way to say it.
I've heard it all.
Capadia.
I've heard it all, though.
Capdia.
Just can't get the staff rule, can you? Anyway, yeah, this is going to be a really interesting one. I think HellRaisers have a lot of exciting prospects. Obviously, I think everyone loves to see Woxic. I think, Bondic has been a player that's got a very storied past, very reliable, always good to watch him. And of course Angel, he's been with HellRaisers for forever, obviously since its inception, and he's one of the most experienced players in the CIS region. So it's gonna be really cool to see how this team performs against Team Liquid. Again, as they say, there's not too much data between these two teams, but Liquid, they are the picture of consistency, James. They are like the North American Astralis for me.
Who do you think is going to win? Let us know on the Upcomer app, available in your relevant app stores or at upcomer.com. You can vote and give us your opinion on who you think is going to take the W. And there is a lot of people with the money on the horsey horse. Now, I think, when was the last time you were excited about a HellRaiser squad? Because it's been a very long time, there's been a lot of iterations, but I think this HellRaisers is awesome.
Yeah.
Woxic has a functional mouse as well, which is always good. We spoke about him in the previous match, having smashed the old one to pieces, but we got him one from the FACEIT office. A man like Pompa had the same mouse as him, so
I mean, your question
we sorted him out.
Was rhetorical, but I do have an answer.
Go on then.
Yeah, rhetorical question.
Go for it.
For me, the last time HellRaisers was really interesting was when Oscar and Stiko were on the lineup, but it was very brief though. I think it was like as brief as like a couple months or something. So that was a very long time ago.
Very long time ago, indeed. I have a HellRaisers sticker on one of my AKs, the fish gun, the dolphins. I know dolphins are not fish, which is why I call it fish gun, because I like to trigger people, which is pretty awesome. I love me some HellRaisers.
So what is the fish then, James? Why is a dolphin not a fish?
Fish is dolphin is a mammal.
Yeah.
That's why it's not a fish.
Okay.
The fish is the fish. I don't know.
I was gonna like go a bit deeper, like specify the defining characteristics of a fish, but
I'm ignorant.
It's different of a mammal, but whatever. Anyways, is it like a it's usually like a respiratory system thing, isn't it?
What are those lyrics of Vinny Paz? I've got degrees in ignorance and weaponry. I love those lyrics. That's awesome.
Well, I think for me it's very difficult to see Team Liquid not winning this game, just because they are just very consistent. They're very methodical. They are a team that has a great practice methodology. I think Zeus as a coach is really awesome, does a lot for the team, and when he was absent from them, we really got to see what they were made of, without having Zeus sort of tying them together and making sure that emotionally they were all sort of balanced and level and playing at their best, and they did admirably well. So that was really cool to see, and it only increases my confidence in Team Liquid will be, again, as I said, this could be major winners.
Angel is restarting his intertubes, so we're just waiting for that, and then we will be good to go. So I think Angel's been the man on HellRaisers. I think he, as I understand it, part owns the team or something like that. But I love how these new players have come through as well from regions that you are not easy to break out of. Counter-Strike, I would say, has never been more accessible in terms of trying to make a name for yourself and get out there into a pro team and so on. So it's really awesome to see these people come from the the lesser known regions, if you will. So that's great to see. And Team Liquid, I think they've got the international flags on their stickers or colours, don't they, for this major? I'll take that as a yes. Someone answer my own question. Dan's just ignoring me.
Yeah,
staring
I don't
at the
know.
walls.
I don't have an answer for you, James.
Oh my god.
Got no answer for you.
Yeah, you've been playing too much Nintendo Switch.
I've been playing PC games, James.
Man, I played so much CS recently, I had to give my arm a rest. Because I get if I played too much, the RSI symptoms crop up again. So I played 25 games in 3 days. And
is that not enough for the RSI symptoms to come back?
Yeah, they came back a little bit. But it used to be if I played 8 hours non-stop, then they would start to flare up. But I think I got past that hurdle. So I often stretch my fingers and so on to try and do some kind of basic ignorant exercise.
I was about to say, I think it does something,
exactly.
But I can't confirm.
I feel a stretch. This must be good.
You should do deadlifts, James.
I went to a
forearms.
gym with you once and did deadlifts, and then my hand was bleeding.
Yeah, that's normal.
I'm not about that life. I want to wear gloves. Because it's not cool to do deadlifts with weight gloves on. I don't care. I don't care what other people are doing. You can judge me. I'm going to get my gloves on. I don't want to be bleeding from the hand. especially in a gym where, like, what if someone else has bled on that as well, and it's just, you know,
Part of the experience, James.
I don't want
Sharing is caring.
I don't want to mix my DNA like that. I'll wear the gloves.
Yeah, it's usually only a problem with like if they have like a super new barbell and it's like it's like a cheese grater or something like that. It's just like why can't you just sand it down just a little bit, like so I'm not bleeding. Why is this happening?
Yeah.
Either way though, there shouldn't be a common experience. It's usually more commonly that people will like scrape their shins and stuff like that. But
Scrape their shins, what, lifting the bar?
yeah, because you're supposed to lift it up in like a direct straight line, and so like the way that your stance is kind of like dragging against your shins almost. So you should wear like leggings or something instead. Socks, cheap socks. You found
I'm
cheap
not wearing
socks?
leggings. I've got great legs, Dad.
Cheap socks is a very big Californian thing.
Cheap socks. You know, I went
tube, not cheap.
Oh, tube socks.
Yeah, not cheap socks.
Oh, yeah. I can never wear like tube socks with shorts. I mean, I see people and it looks good on them, but I just feel like it's
It's super
weird. I gotta wear ankle socks.
Yeah, it's super Californian to do that, I think.
But I put my snakeskin leather shoes on yesterday in my hotel room, and I think I have to go like sockless. I never wear any kind of shoe without socks, but I think those are going to have to be my first. Because people will rock boat shoes without socks.
Well, you can get invisible socks.
Maybe I need those. But I mean, it's hard because like Adidas don't even do socks in my size. So people say, you know, like if you wear Adidas shoes, you shouldn't have Nike socks. It's like they literally don't have socks big enough to fit my feet. So I have to go towards Nike, but I'll try and find some invisible socks. Thank you though to the also the like 1,000 people apparently in the chat were saying that I might have capacitor issues with my power supply, which is why my computer doesn't turn back on again. So I'll buy a power supply and see what happens. I'll keep you guys informed.
There might be is it like a smaller PC?
It's a mini ITX.
Yeah, you should go into like a PC repair shop and they can just plug one in and see. Instead of you having to, because the worst thing is it's happened to me before. Like you'll buy one and then if that's not the problem, it's like really difficult to troubleshoot if you don't have this.
Well, the thing is, I have 2 mini ITX PCs at home, but I actually have a third case as well because when I was building them, I ordered a case and it was going to take like 4 days to deliver. So I ordered another one from somewhere else that would come faster.
Yeah, I know.
And then I just couldn't be asked to cancel the other one, and then now I have a spare one. So I want to build like a super monster PC and try and persuade everyone to give me free parts.
I like to say I'm better than that, but I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done that kind of stuff too as well. Sometimes you just want something.
Dan bought this. He bought this table, one of those tables where you can raise the level of it. He bought it from eBay.
It's an electric standing desk.
And one of the legs didn't operate properly.
No, both. So the mechanism. So there's like a remote, and you can raise or lower the desk from standing mode to sitting mode or whatever height you want. And I was like, oh, I built it, spent a couple hours building it, so this is great, and it looks really good. And I rose, I made it go to like as high as it could go to see how high can it go, So that's cool. And it's time to move it now and start using it. So I try to lower it again with the remote, and the mechanism just goes like it's stuck. I'm like, oh god, what's going on? And I try to fix it, but it's broken. And then so that means like, how I can't put it back in the box, James, because it's double the size now.
That was amazing, but you just had it. And
it was like from a company in America, and they refused to ship the spare parts I needed.
Unless you returned stuff, right? Or
no, they just refused to ship.
They just said, "Hi, you bought it on eBay. Yeah. Get wrecked." So you had these extended legs in your place for like
for quite a while.
For like it must be more than 6 months.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Because especially when you travel a lot, that's like the worst thing. When you travel a lot, you come back home and you're like, oh, I'm home. This is great. I'm gonna really enjoy doing all my laundry over the next 3 days and all the like chores and house cleaning and stuff like that, sorting everything out. So that's great. Eventually got rid of it, but
yeah,
that was a saga. I'm still gonna get an electric standing desk because those things are amazing. Because imagine, James, if you're playing. Right, and you've got you'll appreciate this, playing on a bureau for ages, a desk not suitable for your playing setup. If you can have a perfect desk height, right, that is like, to the millimeter, and you can set that as a preset, and then you can set like different presets and just press a button and it will just like automatically go up or down, and to the perfect heights.
Yeah, so an SSD was swapped out, which is why there is a delay here, but config is just being set up and then we should be into it very shortly indeed. It's just Angel who needs to sort out his bits and bobs. It's pretty cool that we have the age where we can just swap out the SSDs pretty quickly, otherwise things would be moving boxes around.
I learned about in my last PC build. I didn't realize you could have like those. Oh god, what's it called? You know the type of SSD that fits into just a tiny slot in the motherboard. God, what's that called?
Don't know. I haven't kept up with that.
Yeah,
level.
the M2 SSD. Thank you, Nicholas. The M2 SSDs, and I think those are the fastest type you can get as well. And it's just like a tiny little port. It's like so easy. You have to mess around with all these different cables and stuff. It's brilliant.
I love my mini ITX PC. I have builds on PC Pot Picker. I think it's called, I don't know, on my stream there's a link to it, so you can look it up if you want to. There's a version of mine which has water cooling, which is amazing considering how small it is.
Yeah.
I have the Noctua, the big Noctua heat sinks.
Yeah, yes, I had one of those as well. They're enormous.
Yeah.
Really good though, but they're enormous.
I need one more fan though to extract the hot air from the case, because all that stuff's getting super hot, which is probably why the power doesn't work properly, because it's probably just melted something somewhere.
Yeah, it's like the liquid cooling in the really small builds is amazing. It's so good. I've got like a really tiny portable build as well.
Oh, what
America.
is that thing that you? What is it called? Was it a certain brand or something?
Oh, I think you're thinking of the Dan case.
No, but you didn't. You bought a PC
small.
which has a brand, has it not?
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about. Can I just
Oh
say
yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah.
Don't think that's wise.
It's funny that there's a case called a Dan case, because like my diving insurance is called Dan, because it's Divers Alert Network. So they send me these stickers every year that say like, it says Dan in capital letters, which is like I don't need this in my life.
No, it's called the Dan case. I think it was a Kickstarter project or something similar. It's like basically just a case that's designed to be super small, and it's basically the size of like a 1080, GeForce 1080, and it's so like super small, super compact. But you can fit it in like super good gear, obviously, like a really fast i7 or whatever.
Taco's Taco mouse pad is really cool, by the way. I mean you can see it on his Instagram or whatever, but it's pretty awesome, man. Almost as cool as Nitro's keyboard.
I like how I said you can fit it in i7, as though CPUs come in different sizes, but they're pretty standardized.
Bending pins on processors.
Oh my god. I've never broken have you ever broken a CPU by bending pins?
I don't think so. Maybe once, but I'm not really sure.
So
I used to be really bad at building my own PCs, like really bad. Like I don't know what I'm doing.
You know, like these days, it's super easy. Like it's very difficult to break stuff, but back in the old days, like you'd buy RAM, which would be super expensive, and you could put RAM in backwards. You can't do that. This is like not possible now on these motherboards. Like it's foolproof. But back then, you could put RAM in backwards, and then you would just melt the RAM and maybe like short the motherboard, and everything's it's like hundreds of pounds just gone instantly.
I've never done that before.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I know someone who did, and that was a thing.
But rather than break the PC, what I did is I broke my toe. I had this giant tower. I have a picture of it actually from a LAN a long time ago when I was really spotty. I had this giant tower, and I don't know what I was doing, but I was holding it, and I dropped it on my big toe, and it ripped the front of my toe in half. And I had no idea what was going on until like my foot was wet, and I looked down, and there was just blood all over the place, and I had to go to the hospital, obviously because I ripped my toe in half. And
what did they say?
They did explorative surgery on my toe, i.e. they let a student mess around with my toe, and I was too grossed out to do local anesthetic, so I got them to do general anesthetic. Well, they messed around with my toe, yeah.
I've had local anesthetic. It's in one of my toes, and it was really painful.
Yeah, that's why I was
it's
nope.
It's like this huge needle. They're just like plunging this huge needle in there.
Stop. I'm grossed out. Oh. Yeah, so like on my right foot,
painful, man.
My big toe, the nail is completely messed up because of it just won't grow back properly. So yeah, I ripped my toe in half.
Get some stem cells in there. Rub some stem cells in there.
Rub some stem cells.
Rub them in there.
Yeah, I broke my toe, ripped my toe in half thanks to my giant PC tower.
Yeah,
that was really bad.
The towers used to be so enormous. Like it would be like it would be kind of a way you could show off at LANs to have like this like enormous like.
Do you know what was worse? Actually, what's funny is I don't remember even feeling any pain for it at any point. But what was funny is obviously he wrapped it in a big bandage, and I wasn't allowed to take a shower. I wasn't allowed to like get it wet for like 2 weeks, and then I had to come back and a nurse unwrapped it. And obviously, I got mad stinky foot or toe because it's just gross. And like she was unwrapping it, and you could see her face was contorting, and I was like, I could have unwrapped it myself. I don't know why she's doing it, but at the time you kind of think to yourself, okay, maybe I could get to unwrap. I mean, I could do it, but just watching her do it instead, and she's like, and I'm thinking like, this is not an indicator of my general hygiene. You know, you're going to a hospital, there's nurses and stuff, like you want to be cool, but you're just like, your toe is stinking, and you know, it's not very sexy. But I'm like, I was just, you know, thinking like, I hope she doesn't judge me on this, because I'm just doing this is what they told me to do.
Yeah. So you have to let the nurse do it. It's a medical procedure. Bandage removal. Apparently computer issues have been resolved.
Yeah, let's remove the technical pools then. Remove the pals. Everyone's running around on the server.
Yeah. Man, you know another like modern invention in PC building that's amazing is like a modular PSUs. It's so nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
'Cause cable management is.
Do you know what, people cuss me out about cable management, man? Like if you look at the pictures of my mini ITX, there aren't that many cables. In my opinion, it doesn't need that much management. There's like a cable goes from A to B, and there might be a little curve, and people are like, oh my god, this cable management's ghastly. But it's like it's a tiny ass PC, man. What do you want from me? I'd rather spend time turning on the PC than messing with the cables inside. Thank you very much. We are 30 seconds away from this match. Team Liquid will be starting on the CT side of Infernus, and HellRaisers will be on the T side. Infernus, by the way, is my favorite car in Grand Theft Auto.
Infernus Maximus.
Somebody made a mod in Grand Theft Auto recently. Oh, what was it? Of Magneto. There's a Magneto mod in Grand Theft. It looks absolutely amazing. Look it up on YouTube after the stream, of course. For now, Team Liquid and HellRaisers, I am very interested in where this map is going to go. This match, rather.
Yeah.
Obviously, HellRaisers, I'd say, are a slight dog in this, but the unfamiliarity, is that something that can play into play to HellRaisers' advantage here?
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see. You know what Woxic is going to be capable of in this matchup. Obviously, a player that's had a lot of hype around him. You know, one of the most upcoming, incredible sort of young talents we have at the moment. It's amazing how many of those there are, but Woxic definitely has been punctuated recently with his performances, and on HellRaisers, he could elevate them. If they were to beat Team Liquid, that would be, as you say, an upset, and we'll see, though, whether they can do it. Team Liquid start off on the CT side, and it's going to be CZ for Nitro, but he's taking a lot of damage already. Playing that close position with the CZ is good, and it's a bait setup. Baiting for not just Nitro, but also for NAF. However, HellRaisers are not falling for the bait, and wanting to get value out of this, there is a push from Team Liquid, and that is...
Whoa, that wood panel is proving to be paper thin. That's the third kill now we've seen in 2 days in a pistol round through that wood panel with a USP, no less. Now we have HellRaisers jumping around the corners, trying to avoid getting headshot there. It's Super Mario Brothers for Issa, but it won't help him. He's gone. Bondic will... No, actually, Angel will steal the kill, and Twist is here. Surely he gets one. Takes him a while to find him, but he can't quite hit the mark. Bondic now next to the library position. Doesn't want to walk straight into the angle. Nafly trying to stop the bomb plant from short, but he gets taken out as well. That leaves Elige and Nitro versus 3.
Ooh, nicely done by Dead Fox. We'll remove one more player, and Nitro now with the CZ's low HP. And there's no Kevlar, so it's very difficult from this position. Doesn't fancy his chances. Will back away, and he's got a flash to save as well. And you got a feel for twists on the bomb site. You know, it's very awkward to shoot the back of a player's heads with a USP because you're aiming really for those, you know, one taps. And it's just, I don't know, there's something about it that's just very awkward. And it proves a bit too troublesome for him there. And that was a turning point. That was where HellRaisers really got the bomb site. So also a nice patient round from HellRaisers. They didn't force the issue on Banana. They played it as a team and patiently with discipline, and it worked out. So Team Liquid, what is the decision here? Do they go for the 4-4 spy? Yes, they do. The 4-4 spy is in. Nitro will keep some money into the tank. He's got $1,500, but of course... oh no, he's actually going for the force as well, getting an additional flash and a Kevlar and a smoke. This is a dangerous round for HellRaisers to play out.
4 players starting on the A site for Team Liquid. Is this some kind of... Well, it's a stack with a pistol, so let's see what they can do. Taco, is he at the point of no return? Not really. but he's willing to stand his ground, continuing to spot these players. Running distraction while Twist and Elite tries to creep in. A crouch peek. Bondic, was he looking at the radar there? He seemed like he had a slightly delayed reaction, and that is awkward timing for Isa. This is falling to pieces. Woxic and Angel charging towards the A site now, knowing players are behind them, but what lies in front of them?
Yeah, it's a great move from HellRaisers. Just get that positioning. Don't stress about getting the frags just yet. And that's some good damage by Dead Fox. Does get traded out, though, for the man advantage for Team Liquid as the bomb goes down in the bomb site. And Angel and Woxic can try to set up some good crossfires here, but there is enough players to deal with this and to trade out. But they have to hit the shots. And with the Deagles, it might be awkward. Very tense situation. This is anyone's right now. As the flash goes up high to allow Angel to peek safely, get more information where these CTs are coming from. Woxic now has to deal with the first player. Trade is not there. Woxic dealing with things remarkably well. 3 headshots in a row. Beautifully done. And HellRaisers will... that was a dodgy situation, but they will secure the round.
Avoided disaster. And the start does not look so bad for HellRaisers. But CZs are being purchased again for Team Liquid on a map such as Inferno. They can be very dangerous indeed. Are HellRaisers expecting USPs in this round? If so, they'll be in for a nasty surprise. Oh, they've gone for a full force by Team Liquid. They seem confident. They've got 4 smoke grenades and like, we can take these guys. This is a serious confidence play from Liquid. I wonder who called this.
So this is really cool because if you're a really, really, really good team, you can make this a situation where this is a net positive because the way that you're playing is so disruptive and very unpredictable, and then you create a situation where HellRaisers cannot get to a comfort zone. Even if they win the round, their economy will be shaken to a degree where they can never reach the comfort zone. But you have to be a really, really good team to make this work consistently, so I'm really curious how Liquid will perform here.
3 smoke grenades for Team Liquid at the 1:10 mark. Twist has the smoke towards Arch. Taco has the smoke on B, and so does Elige. HellRaisers venturing towards the A site for the time being. Does Twist deploy his smoke grenade? HellRaisers waiting for the Arch smoke to go to get a Molotov in towards the Bates corner. And that is no presence from HellRaisers on Banana. They've rotated the entire team towards this A site where there are only 2 CT players. Twist still hasn't used his grenade just yet, focusing on the short position, but surely he hears footsteps towards Arch. Does he smoke off the site? Is there even time? Perhaps not. Still holding on to it. The gun is out. That's a fast first frag from Twist, but only the one for him. And Nafly is outnumbered. This is a very curious 4-spy round, but 3 on 3. Liquid still have something to fight for here.
Yeah, and if not for that nade onto Naf, maybe he gets another headshot. This is a hard call for Team Liquid. I mean, retaking a site with pistols and no utility really is a bit too difficult. They will go back for the save. So this is a weird one. I was thinking that, one way that this round could play out is that Liquid try to sort of gamble stack towards one side of the map, maybe like a 1-4 or something like that. And then they have a situation where sure, they can't fall by next round, but they have another very deadly round for HellRaisers. And they opt to go for that 3-2 split, sort of gambling that it's going to be a B play. Doesn't work out in that sense for them. So really curious opening from Team Liquids. And you have to give them a lot of respect, considering, again, how intelligent they are as a team.
Yeah.
And how consistent they are. And when they make decisions like this, there has to be a good reason for it,
Yeah, that's a very rare play that we see from Team Liquid. So I'm curious how things will continue. Of course, this is still a dangerous round. They're going to buy pistols around the what they saved from the previous. So let's see how this continues.
Right, well, indeed, the extra Deagle and PT-50 in addition to that, those saved weapons could go a long way. And perhaps Team Liquid is saying to HellRaisers, there's not a single round which you can consider a free one. It's not a single round in which there will be no danger when you're playing up against the likes of us. And once again, Liquid leaning 3 players towards that B-bomb site for an extended period of time with these pistols, with limited information. And HellRaisers, you have to credit the way that they've been playing these rounds. They've been very methodical, and that has given them a great deal of advantages in an otherwise in other words, a round riddled with obstacles, hidden obstacles, perhaps. And it is definitely a different type of HellRaisers as into what we've seen over the last couple of years. Much scarier. And again, consistent, methodical. However, time has been burnt here. It's 40 seconds less than, and there's 4 players from Team Liquid on the B bomb site. And that's where they're going. This is going to be very dangerous here for HellRaisers.
Slowly but surely, well, even if, I mean, there are still 2 people top mid. Oh, they're offering a fake actually with 20 seconds remaining. Now, Twist is a very capable player with CZ, but he's got a deagle. How many kills can he get in this situation? Dead Fox picks off in the meantime, and Liquid are streaming towards the A site, but there is a player eliminated. And that should be the round. Woxic just starting to plant the bomb, really making sure there are no more gremlins hiding around the A bomb site. And now what do Team Liquid do? They've still got 3 players with full armor here, so there's a lot of money for them to save. Elish has an AK as well. Very unusual start to this game of Inferno, and this is a fantastic start for HellRaisers.
Yeah, and it's again, it's so cool to see that they are standing the test. I say that, and that's another gun collected. It's an AK for NAF. Liquid are really trying to squeeze as much value as they possibly can from this round, and they're doing a good job at it. Right, so 4-0, and one of the interesting things is that, Liquid have been able to survive with quite a few players in a lot of these rounds. And now we get the first full buy from Team Liquid. And we'll see the AWP and a couple AKs. This is, again, I have to stress that HellRaisers have been playing this in such a methodical way. I'm gaining a lot of respect for their Inferno already, only 4 rounds into it. And now we see the buy versus the buy.
Right then. Fast peek from Woxic. Oh, there are flames. There's almost nowhere to stand, and Woxic's down to 2 HP now to follow up grenades. Hasn't seen a thing. That is a great start for Team Liquid, but they need to finish well also. AWPing on the T side of Inferno. Not the easiest thing to do. Who are your go-to V picks for this match?
I think it would probably be... They're difficult. I think I would probably go for Nitro and Woxic. It's always tough though with Team Liquids.
I'm gonna go for Woxic because I think obviously a team like Team Liquid will get a lot more attention than HellRaisers, and HellRaisers have really got some players on their team. I really hope they can do something in this major. Although 2 HP, Woxic might have a hard time of doing something on this occasion. HellRaisers running the clock down and trying to exhaust Liquid. Okay, Leash, that's a nice one tap from you. Flash into Pool to allow him to dare to re-peek. Doesn't overextend though. They know they have a good situation now. 35 seconds on the clock, and look where the bomb is on the radar. The bomb needs to be collected.
Do they save or something now? Like, this is 3 players really weak before they've even gone into a bomb site. 20 seconds to go. This is really tough to make this work. Luckily for them, Liquid have only 2 players on the B bomb site, so maybe there's a chance here, but it's going to be very difficult. And that is already, well, Elish is going to town. Oh my god, he's just crushed everyone on the entire team. That is so impressive from Elish. What a decisive round from him.
All 5, baby. Very comfortable ace for Elish. That one tap, look how comfortable he is. The jiggle peeking was just the wrong angle. Elish playing an off angle there. Catching by surprise and then just wiping everybody else out. Elish plus AK equals pain. So that's a good start. 6 frags for Elish now. That's a nice way to win your first round, Team Liquid. But let's see how they continue. 2 sniper rifles now for the Team Liquid team. And we'll see what the money is like for HellRaisers. They haven't started buying just yet. Very curious to see where this one goes.
Yeah, it's really cool that they survive with so many players and so on. There is, of course, the rebuy of all the grenades, maybe grab a couple kits that you couldn't afford in the previous round for Team Liquid now. But if this round goes similarly, which it's I'm just looking at the money. There's 2 players with less than $2K for HellRaisers, although Issa does have 7K. And Angel Bond they could buy, so they can drop, but that's all the money gone. So if Team Liquid are to win this round, things start to go really well for them. And they are. I like how much discipline there is from both teams so far. The previous round was interesting because Team Liquid did so much damage initially. I think that they created a spot where it was very awkward suddenly for HellRaisers to try to find any picks early on, and then so much time was burnt whilst HellRaisers were trying to create something that they were then forced into a push, which was uncomfortable with not enough time. And so from that perspective, Liquid just engineered a very big advantage without going for a committed fight, which is really impressive.
2 towards B, 3 towards A for the CT side. Walk 6 smoked off from the banana position early, and I think HellRaisers already warded off from pushing through that due to all the damage taken in the round prior. And I do wonder what role that will play in the rest of this half in terms of HellRaisers' approach to that banana position, because it was so hamstringing for them. Now, it looks like we're going to see a super slow T-side in general from HellRaisers. Chicken is slaughtered by the smoke grenade as Taco's vision is taken away, but he won't concede his position. And in this sense, we see Twist playing from the pit, Nitro playing from the A site itself, but Taco's alone in that forward position, which means that there's a fair chance in a lot of rounds such as this, he gets picked off on his own due to a numbers game peak, but he's there to get information for his team.
Four players towards A for Liquids. All that responsibility to NAF to anchor, to play it smart. It's not the easiest spot that NAF's playing from. Obviously, if you could play from a more forward position, you have a lot more space to fall back to and much more time to work with. But HellRaisers down to 30 seconds, lots of grenades still. What a slow pace from them, and Liquid are happy, more than happy to play this slow pace. They haven't moved a muscle, there's still 4 players on A, and there's 20 seconds as HellRaisers initiate the push. Grenades
going in, and a Molotov might fall down as well. Twist allowing his teammates to bait, and he will start to clean up from the pit position. There's an easy 3K, all headshots, and it's a very late push from HellRaisers, and they don't have much success. And now Angel is alone, 1 versus 4, trying to get some damage done at the very least, and there's a lot of spray, and there is NAF to trade. Going back to NAF's position on the B bomb site, if you saw HellRaisers, they ran that banana and didn't see anything. Now, if NAF, for example, was playing on the half wall or the car position or something like that, and they see him there, they probably, whether NAF kills one of them or not, they probably think, okay, there's one player towards the B bomb site. But the fact that NAF is playing further back probably suggests to HellRaisers that there are more players towards the B bomb site, which encourages them to go to the A bomb site where there is a stack. So that's worked out really, really well for Team Liquid, and they are a great team to watch on their CT side. They've got plenty of bait setups, especially around that arch position, so we'll see how that continues. But for now, HellRaisers have lost everything.
Yeah, and I think one thing we saw from that previous round is that Liquid were defending with 20 seconds left at bomb site, but they still had so much counter utility that they couldn't even make a frag onto the site, and they're trying to edge their way in, and Twist just kills 3 people because they can't even make an entry frag because of this counter grenades that they're up against. So that's another issue. That shows us that there was a lack of pressure from HellRaisers' side of things onto Liquid. And it's just the Glocks and a Deagle or 2 here, and slowly but surely we can expect Liquid to continue dealing the punishments onto this HellRaisers team. And they've been efficient with losing minimal players each round. We're not seeing anyone overextend from Team Liquid's perspective. Well, that said, it's a nice Deagle frag, but Taco looking to calm things once more with the M4, and he'll do just that with another frag and then C4 down on the floor. So methodical. He's got a Glock, James.
Repositions entirely to reduce the risk, and that's a nice cleanup from Monsieur Taco. No trolling today, just fragging from Taco. Right then, HellRaisers back on the buy. Are we going to see, I'm sure at some point we'll see a change of pace, but I think it will still continue to be slow for the most part, but they need to get more done early in the round. They need to give themselves an advantage, not really going into the fights very late on with much of anything. So they need to find a way to open up this team and stretch Liquid up somewhat more, because it's almost like that execute on the previous buy, it was almost HellRaisers who were doing the guessing game as opposed to Team Liquid, again playing NAF passively and putting 4 people on the A-bomb site, but expecting the right reaction from HellRaisers, and they weren't wrong. And I think a player just got shot in the head through the smoke by his own teammate for HellRaisers, so they've taken more damage than they might have liked in this situation.
Yeah, it's a similar situation as to one of the earlier gun rounds where they tried to go up Banana, and at the start they scored, I think it was Wox escaping with 2 HP. Now you're in a situation where there's been an exchange of utility, you haven't gotten a pick. If you know,
Shot your teammate in the head.
Some of these players can't even really go for these picks just because their health is so low. Nitro's on the angle with an AWP. It just gets worse here. Look at that setup. Beautiful stuff there from Team Liquid. Not a setup that has been encountered by HellRaisers in this round, in this game so far. And now it's a 5 versus 3 for Team Liquid. HellRaisers have 2 players with less than 50% health. And once again, they're forced into a desperation push.
Raw peaks. Ooh, can get away with that one, but he expects the lead. Just a nice pre-fire from Angel, if you will. One-man advantage now for Team Liquid, jumping around trying to get the trades, but there's no trade. Nafly's still alive, going for the pre-fire of his own. And he's wasted enough time, he's killed enough time for his teammate to trade. How does he not get traded there? That was a 3 versus 1.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty mental. And as you say, like, enough time was bought, and so he did his job, and that's another round for Team Liquid. Their money's still in a pretty good place. And HellRaisers are really struggling with the early to mid rounds. They're struggling to get map control. They're struggling. They so far are unable to really get an opening pick. And so then they're forced into situations where they have to sort of, again, go for a desperation play, just something that doesn't look very good for them, because they have no choice, because the time forces them. So that obviously needs an adjustment and approach. We'll have to see what that adjustment looks like. When Team Liquid are altering their CT setups and sometimes having 2 players playing setup in the apartments and you just don't know when, making those adjustments is difficult. And that's one thing about the Team Liquid CT side, is that they have so many different setups, and it's very difficult to anticipate. That works though, just shoot him in the face. And maybe there's a chance here. Naf once again defending with the AWP on the B-bomb site. This time looks a bit easier for him. Oh, hello.
Warning shots to Dead Fox. The bomb's still in T-spawn at the moment, but Bondix made his way onto the site for a brief time. Well then. This is a nothing round for the most part, really, for HellRaisers. Dead Fox needs to be fragged in this round, otherwise he won't have the money to buy in the next one. So off he goes, and Taco may soon hear him, may soon see him. There we go, and that's going to be over. Now Team Liquid are in the lead. 5-4, 4th place surviving for Team Liquid, money going up. We have Taco, Nitro, Naf starting this round with over $10,000. Meanwhile, HellRaisers, they've got the money to buy, but what can they do differently? First, it will be a tactical timeout from HellRaisers. What do they need to change? It's 5 rounds in a row for Team Liquid since the extra investment in the initial round, let's say, with that forced buy in round number 3. And in the round since, I don't really think that HellRaisers have really got into a position to win. It's just been the late pushes, and they have had no success.
Yeah, every time just forced into a bad spot. And most of these rounds where they go really slow and maybe they have some numbers, Team Liquid have enough grenades and counter utility that the defense of the push is made much easier. So a new round, let's see if HellRaisers can find a way, or maybe there's a mistake to be made by Liquid that could afford HellRaisers away, and that is so fast. That's basically the close your eyes and pre-fire it. That's some motor memory right there from Naf. That is a crazy headshot, so quick. That is not what you want to see straight away if you're HellRaisers.
Daps has mentioned that Naf is a very capable sniper. You don't get to see it so often, but you're getting to see it today. 4 players left for HellRaisers.
Yeah.
But now,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say now Angel's free to move the rest of the team around, but they were struggling with 5 players in the late game. They've got time on the clock and 4 players, but still nothing doing. Really just moving very gingerly and waiting out some grenades.
I was going to mention with Naf's pre-fire there, that's something that you at home can practice too. He's doing that off the timing of his spawn, knowing that he has a quick spawn to get there, and you just practice the crosshair placement and the timing with the movement, and you too can pre-fire with success. So once again, a slow round from HellRaisers. Of course, losing Angel very quickly was definitely not according to plan. Things not going according to plan, and now they have to rely on this A push, and there's 3 players there for Team Liquid. We don't have an enormous amount of utility this time, but there's 20 seconds to get the push started, and Taco, he knows exactly what's going on. There's not enough time to clear all the positions. You can see Dead Fox is worrying about the cubby, but Taco's just getting 1v1s here, and finally there's a trade, but there's 10 seconds to plant the bomb.
I don't get it. Like, what is that approach on Arch?
They haven't left themselves enough time. That's what that is.
I don't understand. Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is such a smooth series of events, but look at this. And that's a 2-man approach, and again, there's no trade frag.
Yeah.
That can't be how you try and take Arch versus Team Liquid. That can't be it. There has to be more.
There's 20 seconds left, and they didn't properly clear top mids to have a good considered approach. I think that's really the part of the problem there. They need to be faster with developing map control if they want to run around like that. Oh god, Twist gets in a lot of trouble there. And finally, is this the first round? I think it might be, where we see in these buy rounds, HellRaisers get an opening pick.
Response smoke grenade from Nitro, and indeed finally HellRaisers raised the pace, and now we're seeing some normal Counter-Strike. Elige though, not expecting him to charge through the smokes like that. Thought he had more time to deploy something, and Nitro has a lot to do here. Oh, he's missed the first shot, and that might be his only shot. There's the bomb though, trying to buy some more time because Taco's cleaning up from the bit. There are 2 more players, gets shot around the smoke, and Naf is in a 1 versus 2. He's got almost $14,000. There's a fresh smoke down, but he's got no reason not to go for this.
He's going to go through the smoke as well. There's lots of time, actually. Oh, it doesn't look like he can get it done, though. I was wondering if you wait the smoke out, because when the smoke was popped, I think the bomb went down about 5 or 6 seconds afterwards, which meant that there was about 10 seconds left on the smoke, which meant that there would be like 30 seconds to try the retake or so.
That was way too many numbers for me.
Quick maths. And but he just goes for the play straight away, and that's the first round in the buys for HellRaisers.
Yeah, it's kind of a bull charge. I mean, I think what we've been lacking from HellRaisers so far is the normal push the CTs back, deny information. We've just seen the late plays. I mean, that was a round. So there's still a reasonable chunk of money in the bank for Team Liquid. HellRaisers needs to find consistency. I mean, you tell me if you think that's going to happen based on what we've seen so far. They've got to improve this T side. They have to have more substance in. They've got a minute 26. They have a minute to do something before they make their normal executes. At least try and get these CTs back. Try and get them to fish for information like they're doing on Banana, and succeeding, unfortunately, for HellRaisers.
Yeah, and one thing to note about Team Liquid having Twist push in the previous round, which gave up the frag, which allowed HellRaisers in the round. That's a push that only, that's the first proper aggression we've seen like that from Team Liquid, and it's happening because they have a lot of bank. It's unlikely you'll see that before this point where they have so much security. Oh, that's close. Voxic, though, he'll miss the shot, and the opportunity is gone now because Twist has, oh no, sorry, Elige has gotten himself the hell out of that position. And 40 seconds left on the clock now, and HellRaisers do not have top mid. That said, Team Liquid don't have it either. 2 players back onto the B-bomb site. Lots of nades here for Team Liquid to defend with. However, HellRaisers are looking to rotate back towards A, but they're going to have 20 seconds again. This keeps happening. See if they can make it work better this time. 15 seconds to plant the bomb. See if this defense is going to go well for Team Liquid once more. No room for error for HellRaisers. And looks like there will be some error here. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, no time for the bomb, and everyone's dead. These rounds are on repeat, James. Right now, we've seen that happen a bunch of times.
Yeah, and now all the money has gone for HellRaisers. And it's back to losing territory, back to Eco. Uninspired T-side so far. And, I mean, Liquid are a tough team to play against on Inferno, when Liquid are on the CT side especially. I don't know if what we're going to see from HellRaisers on their next buy round. It's a tactical timeout from them. So we've got number 6 talking, everybody else listening. But I mean, they're trying to do something early on Banana is just not working for them. Yeah,
and I mean, that previous round, Team Liquid gave up top mids, I think around the 45-second mark or so. But HellRaisers didn't take it. We're instead seeing just everyone sort of just waiting. And because they don't have these, they haven't established some of these basic positions earlier on in the rounds, then they have this desperation mode kicking in every time. And look, Naf goes aggressive once more. Obviously, this is against Glocks, but looks like Glocks might be enough here. Leash will go down with his aggression as well. So Team Liquid have to be careful. They should be fine. Well, that's a nice headshot from Nitro through the wall. Gotta love that.
I want to see something here from HellRaisers on their buy round. I want to see. I mean, they've got 5 rounds on the board already. Perhaps that's enough. We'll have to wait and see. Coming to the closing rounds of this first half, only 2 remain now, and Team Liquid, you have to say, look good for double figures.
Yeah, there's been no round in which HellRaisers have said to us, you know, here is a consistent approach. The only time they've won a buy round is when Team Liquid got aggressive with Twist in the apartments, and you know he dies. They had 3 people looking at him, and then HellRaisers were able to create a round after that. But that's the only round where that's happened, and Team Liquid instigated that situation, that risk.
The usual on Banana from Team Liquid. HellRaisers just watch the grenades sail down and avoid all the damage. Now, will this be a faster round from them? They seem to have a big focus towards top mid. There's nobody at the bottom of mid for a pop flash, but that's another way to do it. And now Taco, they've already pushed through the smoke. He knows that. Gets stuck on the corner, can't get the spray transfer in, but Nafly's not too far away. It's a fast split of the A bomb site. Nitro's got to be careful, but his teammate's in tow now, but Issa takes him down. Now Nitro's completely exposed. He's really got to get something done. Issa's traded by Twist. There's a bomb on the floor, and Twist does the rest, and Nitro just stands there as the bait, and that is a very fast response. Slow doesn't work. Fast does not work for HellRaisers, and they don't really have the cash to get the AKs out in this round either, so this half is looking like a shutout.
Yeah, they've been just completely outclassed. They could have played such a consistent style, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, I love watching them. Because, you know, like you were saying about Zipex, you know, and Astralis, you know, Liquid, there's a lot to learn from how they play the game. They don't really tend to overstep. Everything is for a purpose, and everything is by design. And once again, you will see, you know, the grenades, you know, sailing down Banana. And one thing that HellRaisers can do on those buy rounds, although there won't be any more now, is you can challenge those smokes. With, you know, flashes flash through it. Maybe Liquid have rotated a player, maybe they're playing too close, maybe there's, you know, some kind of setup, but you can challenge for that and create a mid-rounds situation that could be favorable. But this round is CZ's. It's lots of utility. That's a good nade. Right on the mark. Re-smoke the middle there, slow things down. It feels really hopeless, doesn't it? HellRaisers have to be very happy they got 5 rounds out of this half.
Yeah, it's all about that pistol. Ignoring the pistol. Well, again, I think we have to include that force buy. It's basically 1 round.
Yeah.
So a smoke has been thrown to Arch, and they've fallen off from top mid with these pistols. Now with these deeper grenades on Arch, there are no sound cues, and Naf is going back towards the B bomb site. But look at the timing of this smoke grenade. Angel trying to bait the lead. That's a great job by Angel. Not an easy task to do, and maybe HellRaisers can get something from this previous round. Obviously, a bomb plant won't be enough. They've got to get more than that. This is the last round of the first half. Taco going through, but a bomb plant attempt has been stopped, and that's like trying to preempt second attempt. Got to get his reload in though, and a Molotov will allow the bomb to go down with 6 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, great damage with the spray. Twist will follow things up. That's beautiful. It's actually Nitro from distance, but Dead Fox, he can't do a single thing. Liquid sweep in like a bulldozer into that bomb site for the retake. Like a hot knife through butter, Team Liquid are slicing through HellRaisers, and it is an incredible first half from Team Liquid. Again, without that pistol, HellRaisers didn't really accomplish anything in this first half. And moving into the second half, it's going to be tough for them to recover from that. One thing I have to say is I love that NAF has the lineup there. There's so many players at a professional level that don't have the lineup through the coffins for someone doing the coffins plant. There's no excuse not to have that lineup, and you can see that it's pretty powerful. Right, Team Liquid, definitely a team putting the work in on every single detail, and now HellRaisers, James. I don't know if I can see them coming back into this one with what we saw in the first half. Can the second half be different?
Well, it is a game of two halves. Completely different jobs to do here, so they could entirely have a stable second half. Do they need the pistol here as well? I think it's fair to say yes, as Liquid look like the stronger team. Well, they are the stronger team, but seems to be significant. But let's see. East are off to a good start, picking off Elige in second mid. They managed to fall back with no trade from the T's just yet. Both players on Banana with grenades out for the Liquid side, at least to force back the CT somewhat. Voxer Kanisa around the pit area on A now, and Dead Fox has joined the players on B for the time being, but there's no push as they see down Banana, and he will head back towards the A site. Twist and Naf now collecting the bomb and having a look. But what is the play here? They don't seem to know if the CTs have more advanced positions, and now Taco's been picked off as well.
Yeah, the 1v1 against USPs at these ranges is pretty difficult. I think Angel is absolutely right to take those fights, and now with a multitude of opponents, he'll back away, which is smart. And this boost can be difficult. With a rifle or something where you have some spray potential, it's very good, but I think that it could potentially backfire. We'll have to see if the bait works, if Angel can successfully draw enough attention for it to do some real damage. And there is only 3 players here for Liquid, so losing the integrity of numbers is a big deal here. And it's only going to get worse. Beautiful stuff from Angel on the defense here. And indeed, Bondik will be good for the 1 with the boost, and now Nitro in a 1 versus 4 has to get the ace to make this one work. He's got 20 seconds though.
Yeah, we are asking a lot of him. There's just surely no way. Here they come. Get some extra points. At this point, you have to wonder if he's going to get knifed. And there it is from HellRaisers. They win both pistol rounds, and that is crucial for them. Definitely need it in this matchup. Let's see what Liquid choose to do. No plant for them, so you could say they're encouraged towards the force buy. Taco's pulled out a Desert Eagle. Let's see what else is to follow.
Yeah, and they must be playing with so much confidence too that these force buys get really dangerous. There's a certain element to a force buy where you play with a level of fearlessness and speed because of the nature of the pistols that can create a lot of chaos, and it can absolutely serve to disrupt the CT setup effectively, and we'll see if that could be the case. Taco leading with the Deagle. He's the only player that's got that true one-shot potential with that Deagle, and so he's the perfect man to try to take these longer range angles, looking for the headshots. He is scanning all over the place, seeing what he can get. Whilst his teammates hold any potential pushes, Taco continues to probe. See the pre-aiming there from Taco. This is scary. If Taco gets a kill, you can expect Liquid to just collapse onto the bomb site. Look how many different angles he's taken to get this pick. He's moved around so much. And now they set up the split onto A.
42 seconds, and even with pistols, I mean, HellRaisers may take defensive positions anyway because they know they're against a force fire, but Liquid are in an interesting position, although Angel has been able to play around with this smoke, and that is a nice wipeout so far, and it will finish in the same fashion. Good round for HellRaisers from the point of view that they took basically no damage, only used up a few grenades here and there. And now we have the proper eco round for Team Liquid, unless another surprise buy is in order. All right then, do wonder what is to be made of Team Liquid's first full buy. Will they expect some aggression from HellRaisers? We have to wait one more round to find out, and in the meantime, HellRaisers can try to farm some more money with these SMGs on the likes of Bondic and Dead Fox. 3 players starting towards the B bomb site. It seems Liquid will be moving pretty quickly. The conga line up mid. How many frags is Woxic good for? The FAMAS does not have all the bullets in the world, but support is there quickly and gone the same.
The Glocks are doing a lot of damage here. We'll see whether Angel can just calm this down, restore a level of tranquility. Might be Bondic to do that. Oh, hello. Another frag with that PT-50, and they have a clean journey to that B bomb site. They've got the bomb as well. They can absolutely win this round. Twist serving to distract and hold on, but he will get shot in the side by Issa. But Elige does have an MP9. He's got an incendiary, and he's got a bomb plant. He has no Kevlar though, which kind of sucks, but I'm sure he can find a way to make this one work. Flash over the top, and no one's flashed. And they will get the defuse. But that's a lot of mileage for this kind of a round.
That is a noble effort, and it is an expensive one for HellRaisers. Perhaps they would have upgraded some SMGs anyway, but the extra armor and so on, and 3 players taken out is not exactly what they wanted. Now let's see. The bomb plant is a bonus for Team Liquid. The AKs start to come out, of course. Bondic will drop the AWP for Woxic. So for those of you in GoTV, I think it's reasonable to say that that is the man to watch. 5 AKs for Team Liquid now. Let's see what they try to do versus the CT side of HellRaisers and how aggressive HellRaisers will be. They are well equipped, the CT side. 3 towards B, Woxic towards mid. Gonna have a jump peek, and he can say that there's probably some people going towards Banana early, as no one is peeking him, but he's not going to overextend early.
Angel with the jump peek. Got to be careful not to be zealous with that, overzealous. But he's going to find himself a kill. That's lovely stuff there through the smoke. Is there a follow-up? Looks like there wants to be. Have a quick push coming up from Elige, but he doesn't get what he's after. Angel still sticking around and taking additional damage for his troubles. But he will leave the victor, as he did pick off a kill early on. However, you know, if we look at what Liquid has done by the 1 minute 15 mark, okay, they lost a player, sure. But in contrast to HellRaisers on their T side, Team Liquid have actually taken some map control. They've forced back the CTs. They've pressured away, you know, some of the utility. The only thing they don't have is apartments and top mids. And HellRaisers see that. And Angel's alone deep on the site. This could go very badly unless HellRaisers rotate somebody. Oh, sorry, there is someone there. I'm misreading the mini-map there. But still, a 2 versus 4 here. Can they hold on to this B-bomb site? Oh my god, Twist! Unbelievable series of entries there. How on earth did he get those so quickly?
Holy potatoes. That is a problem for HellRaisers. They are already in a save situation. Woxic needs to back off. That is quite the round from Twist. So much talent on the Team Liquid team. Can't wait to see how that looked from his POV. Yeah. That second frag was so fast.
Was that like a spray transfer? What the hell is going on there?
What are you supposed to do against that? Their sticker looks beautiful, by the way.
It's definitely a bit troublesome, isn't it? That's a round where you know you've done everything right. You get the pick off early. You decide to play it passively on the bomb site. You've got 2 players there. You've got some nades to defend with. Everything's looking good. Rush comes in, 2 instant kills for the T's.
Van Dinkum.
That is something else.
Taking liberties on the B-bomb site.
Oh my god!
But the presence of mind to not even... At no point does he let go of mouse 1. He's just like, he's in that flow state.
Incredible. Yeah, absolutely. Like, given the information they have, he's absolutely in his brain. He's primed himself. He knows that there's a second player somewhere, and his brain, all the experience, all the hours, he's got already some information in his head as to what is most likely. He's ready for it. Brilliant stuff. And aggressional banana from both teams here. Oh my god, Wox is straight in there with the AWP with all the grenades behind the wooden board. He takes cover. He's alive. Oh, that could have been a double. That should have been a double, but it will be for Angel, cleaning up the mess, doing what Woxic could not in this round, and he can't get the last one, and that will equalize things.
That really should have been 2 kills there.
Yeah.
That would have been huge, and HellRaisers probably would have been in a better situation, but such is life. It was great patience, though, from Woxic on the first kill. He made sure with multiple targets. He took his time. Often your brain will make you shoot between 2 targets if you see them at the same time, but took his time, took out a player, and managed to survive behind the wood panels. And now Isat doesn't have any info, elevating his position. And the lead will be good, but Taco will trade. Now it's Taco versus Dead Fox on the other side of the map, rotating down the banana position. How much time does Taco think he has? Well, he's brave enough to go for the side plant. He's got a smoke and a Molotov. Goes into the pit. Let's see what Dead Fox can do with this.
Taco can be anywhere. Deep incendiary. Oh, he waits for it. Instant headshot coming in from Taco. Beautiful stuff there from him, cleaning the round up. And HellRaisers, they started off that round quite well. You know, Angel with the cleanup was brilliant, and I really like how Issa elevated his position there. You can absolutely see him getting 2 kills a lot of the time with that play. So both teams playing really well in that round. But unfortunately for HellRaisers, it was Liquid that played better, and that's going to leave them with no money to play with in the following round. And Liquid with a good prospect to get 13-8 on the scoreboards. Mac 10 for NAF as well, so you'd imagine that Liquid have an anti-eco round that they'd like to play. Looking at the viewership we're seeing here so far at the early stages of the Major, James. A mere 400,000 people, not bad, not bad.
Not too shabby at all.
Props to all you guys tuning in, fans of the Counter-Strikes.
Fly with a Mac 10. They seem to have a read as to what the HellRaiser situation is. There are only 2 players without helmets, but he also has the moving accuracy to spam at all 5 of these players, only one of which has a rifle. Everybody else is ill-equipped for the task required, so Liquid are on top of the situation in terms of what to expect from HellRaisers. And Angel will be alone on the B bomb site for the time being, Bondit going towards A. Good use of utility from Team Liquid so far. 4 rounds away from victory now. HellRaisers stacking the A bomb site, excuse me. I don't know if we'll see much more rotation during this round. Liquid taking it slow, however. Minutes on the clock, and they've got good map control so far. Players in apartments. Nitro is at the bottom of mid. He could throw a flash up top for a burst, if that's what they wanted to do. He's got one in the hole. So Fly will keep harassing, spraying the smoke top banana with the Mac 10. And the rest of the team will focus on the A site. But they are moving into the stack. Are they equipped well enough to deal with it? They do have 2 Molotovs along with these flashbangs.
It's time to go back to B. Lots of presence shown towards A, just really convince those CTs that there's a big threat, level of presence and threat towards that bomb site. Delay the rotation. Oh, there's only 1 player on this bomb site. That is quite the shame. Angel, I don't know if he can escape. He's trying desperately, but he cannot escape. And that's the bomb down, and HellRaisers looking to save what they have in this round. But 13-8 will be the scoreline. Liquid's slowly but surely creeping convincingly and steadily towards that win. What can HellRaisers do to stop them? Liquid with so many tricks up their sleeve, and the performances have been good all around, and it's great to see how this team has developed over time. Lots of like the result of just great levels of hard work, discipline, and professionalism. and a great approach as well to how to become a great team. It's not just about grinding the game. There's a lot more to it than that.
5 rounds between the two sides. Still recoverable if HellRaisers can get going on their CT side. Again, beyond the pistols, really, they've won 1 round.
True.
So far. Let's see. This is obviously not an ideal round for HellRaisers. Elige, fortunately for him, is not exposed through the corner of the smoke. Deadfox has been spotted. Don't look at the numbers. Instant trades from Team Liquid. Isa is alone on the A bomb site. Will Liquid commit? There's a smoke on the balcony, so Nafly can't help them from the high ground just yet. And there is a rotation of 2 of the players towards that arch position. No eyes on Banana for Team Liquid, so they need to keep off mid for the most part. Elige actually is watching a flank from second mid. So they're keeping the HellRaisers team honest in that regard. Angel starting to wonder, how far will he go with this Deagle? How many kills can he expect from that position if they come around the corner? He probably has to peek, go for some pre-fire. Seeing some blood splatter, but that's about it. Which is why the clear decals is a good bind to have. So there's no confusion. Isa blind, here comes Twist, but he's got support on the site as well, and there are smokes down, so this is awkward for Team Liquid, who only have 2 players remaining. Make that 1. Elige on his own versus 2 players. He's got 40 seconds though. Here's a grenade, that's all he needs to know. Charging towards the B bomb site for a plant.
He's got 30 seconds, so there's plenty of time to make it across, and he should be able to beat his opponent into safety. You know, just gets across through to the coffin's position. I'm not sure if Angel saw him there, maybe just a glimpse. The 1v1, Angel has a good idea of where the bomb is planted now. He's looking for what is a safe peek maybe, and it seems like a pre-fire almost. Elige is incredibly quick.
How does he react that fast, dude? That was crazy.
It's beautiful stuff there from Team Liquid once again. It doesn't matter which player is left in the clutch with Team Liquid. It's just, it can be so devastating. And
he tried to one-tap him as well. Elige is on the one-taps today. HellRaisers taking their last timeouts as we speak. It's full buy territory for them. Angel has an AWP in his hands. And now Woxic has it. I was wondering if they were going to have more than one. We will soon see, as they have not fully bought just yet. So this has been a difficult game of Counter-Strike for HellRaisers. I think the score is somewhat misleading in that regard, since they won both pistol rounds. But here we go. They are pretty much at last chance saloon now. So let's see. The buy needs to be finished. Why aren't they buying anything? Okay, no one is leaving spawn, so the round will get reloaded and whatever is happening, and then it will stop happening, and then they'll play. So great stuff. This has been very dominant for. I mean, Liquid are Daps's favorite. He's picked them to win the major.
That's awesome. Again, yeah, I've been calling them the North American Astralis just for a while now, just because, you know, Astralis to us is like the picture of consistency and good methodical Counter-Strike and a good approach to how you practice and train and prepare. And to me, the closest thing to that in North America is absolutely Liquid. And in Liquid, you know, they have somewhat of a more unconventional maybe setup. You could consider it in the fact that, you know, Nitro, you know, Nitro's had to, you know, originally sort of just this crazy fragger, then has to turn to this sort of in-game leader role, then has to pick up the AWP as well. And so in some cases, you've got a team which maybe prefers at times to have 5 riflers and, you know, be this super dynamic unit. But Nitro has been incredible with the AWP since he has been picking it up. And so, yeah, they're just so versatile, and their team play is really good. You can tell that they've got great communication as well. And I think one of the pieces that really ties it together and can't be overstated is Zeus as well. I think, you know, he's a really good sort of mature figure to sort of help tie the team together. If there's ever, especially any emotional sort of, you know, I don't want to say, you know, trauma, but, you know, situations where their emotions are running high, he's a great guy to sort of get behind the players and really bring them back into reality and ground them. and get them on the same page, keep them honest in the matches and in practice as well. So it's a great unit, and definitely a contender for that grand final.
Here we go, round restored and everything is hunky-dory. Angel will be on the UMP, but Woxic has the AWP. Now we need to see something from HellRaisers, but Liquid may deny us of that. Not long to find out though, 3 seconds and then things will get kicked off. Let's see, Woxic has a pretty good spawn. How aggressive will he choose to be? Is he going to have a look down? It's a jump peek. Spots a bunch of players there, but doesn't feel like anyone's peeking him. And there we go, Nitro picks up on the ramp position. Twist trying to get something done, but Nafai was great at the very least. But it will go in the favour of HellRaisers. Elysia's here, gets his 1 versus 1. Nades, Molotovs, survives with 5 HP, 2 versus 3. Big damage done by both teams.
This is so cool, because now you have this. There's so much time to play this mid round out, where there's 2 CTs gone. As far as Team Liquid's are concerned. So that means that that there are some holes on the map, and it really depends how HellRaisers want to play it. Do they want to try to cover all their bases, or do they want to play it super safe and leave something open? Because you can't perfectly cover everything with 3 players. So Taco will create some noise. There's a response, and Woxic has the angle on Elige. You can't expect too much here from Liquid at this point. I think too much information is in the hands of HellRaisers, and they've got great positions.
The smoke fell a little too far down. It can sometimes do that, so it leaves him somewhat exposed, but obviously the numbers are very limited, and I think that was an exploratory venture into the A bomb site, but HellRaisers will shut down the rest. Finally, they find some success. I like the way Woxic peeks that mid area when he has the spawn. He jumps past, and you have like a split second to see what's going on at the bottom of Banana. Mainly, you'll see people going bottom of mid, going into Banana. But he's confident that no one's picking him with a sniper rifle, so he takes the peek, catches Nitro going up the ramp. And that helps his team get into a 1-man advantage with 5 players lost between both sides. And now we are back into it, and he's going to be heading over towards the B-bomb site, Woxic, with 2 more players in tow. So they're rotating the AWP, trying to catch players off guard. Molotov at the top and bottom of Banana. Seems like he was tempted to go through the smoke there, but I think that was too much risk, and at this point they can't really afford it.
Yeah. It was a great round previously, and I like that HellRaisers have been willing to fight. It's definitely a must. This round, though, a bit different, playing it more passively. Angel taking some nades, he's used to that at this point. And Liquid looking like they want a fast timing on a balcony pop here. Issa going aggressive, the pop flash there for him. And Taco's blind, but not Twists, and that's a problem. Dead Fox here is going to be in great trouble indeed. Not just him, but Woxic also falls, and the bomb site is conceded. And that fast timing on the balcony burst is very effective.
Team Liquid heading towards match point. HellRaisers with 2 weapons to save, and they are being looked for. They're being searched for. They don't last very long indeed, and that has been the story of many around here on Inferno so far, despite the 9 rounds of HellRaisers. And Liquid find themselves at match point. HellRaisers very limited in what they can offer. Again, they are already out of timeout, so they can't even discuss what to do, what to buy, where to go, how to position themselves. They've just got to roll with it. Woxic from an AWP to a scout. 4 pistols on the HellRaisers side. East has had a good performance kills-wise, 20 for 15, but has been a very difficult Team Liquid to deal with. Woxic looking for a timing. Liquid taking it slow. Ding dong. Bondik ringing the bell and holding on to Banana for the time being.
Oh, he's going to burn to death. Oh, is it going to spread? Oh my goodness, he's saved by a teammate. I think he was okay, but that was very close. An AK stolen, Nitro not knowing which way to look. He did get some damage onto Bondik, and the Flames did a bit as well. But it will be a man advantage for HellRaisers. They definitely need it. They've got 2 smokes and an incendiary remaining, and so there is delay potential. Liquid, they just need 1 round here, of course, to walk away with this one, and they still have plenty of opportunities to find that round. A defensive 3-man setup here on the A-bomb site for HellRaisers, waiting. There's nowhere else that they can back off to at this point. They are in deep positions on the bomb site. Team Liquid's breathing down their neck. Woxic needs a good round with this scout. Only one smoke left on Liquid now. Can they make it work?
How much can we really expect from him, though? With the scout. Doesn't land a shot on that occasion, and that could have really helped even if it wasn't a frag. And now Twist has position. The T's know they're exposed to Library, however. 15 seconds, and Elige sees a player over the smoke. Isa spamming for dear life, and life may soon be taken away. 2 plays in the pit now. The bomb needs to go down, though. 7-second mark, and Angel isn't in position to do anything about it. Bondik moving into the apartment. 2 versus 4. Bondik only has a CZ and 12 HP, so Angel has to do a lot. Can't do much, although the damage onto Elige and Taco, perhaps he can do something about it. Spots one player, but he needs a lot more. Not going to happen. Team Liquid dominate HellRaisers on Inferno, despite losing both pistol rounds, 16-9.
Yeah, that was a clinical performance from Team Liquid on Inferno, showing you how it's done. We saw a great CT side despite losing that pistol. They had an amazing mix-up of setups. They didn't go for aggressions, pure aggressions, until they had a good buffer of economy. It was just very methodical and very consistent, that style, that approach. And this is the reward. I mean, look at HellRaisers. They couldn't even play their Inferno at all.
Yeah, I don't know how much we really saw from HellRaisers. Again, they won both pistol rounds, and beyond that, they did not really get a lot out of that game of Inferno. And credit to Elige for not giving them, to Liquid for not giving them the space to do that.
Yeah.
That was all Liquid from start to finish, looking very, very solid and scary on Inferno indeed. But was this the greatest challenge for them on Inferno? Perhaps not.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be a pretty long road. I think HellRaisers have a lot to think about, because if they come up against teams that have a similar level of quality on Inferno, like, it can't be that they are having desperation pushes all the time. That shows that there's something fundamentally wrong with their T-side approach.
Parla is in the gaming room with Team Liquid.
What did you feel, Taco? Tell me.
The FPS.
Did it affect you a lot? 'Cause it seemed like you had a pretty good game as a team, and the HellRaisers were figured out to an extent from your side.
Yes, I mean, I was saying that the FPS was so good for me, because I like to play in these conditions. We had a really good bootcamp in really good conditions, so I'm happy that we have good conditions to play. And also HellRaisers, they are a really good opponent. They are a really good team. We actually practiced against them in our bootcamp, and we knew that they are not a bad team. So we came ready for this matchup. We knew the map would be Inferno, and we are just happy with the 2-0 in the tournament.
Congratulations. Wilton, I want to talk to you, because as I walked into the room as you guys were finishing out the match, I overheard you from behind the guys saying, we're just going to kill them. We're going to kill all of them. What was that about?
Yeah, we were going to kill them. That's what it was all about. We just knew we were going to go into this match and try to do as much damage as we could. Try to not show as much, as because we prepared a lot in boot camps. We came up with a lot of different stuff, and we're trying to save it for the right time.
So at the end there, was that just sort of trying to give some raw confidence to the guys to close things out? Is that an approach you usually take beyond designing some of the strategies you guys employ?
Of course, beyond designing some of the strats, you got to keep them motivated, you got to keep them fired. Sometimes a round will go a way that we don't expect, or something will happen. In the end, you just got to keep focused, because every round is just 1 point, and you got to figure that out.
Nice work, Wilton. Ruthel, can I speak to you? Ruthel, the magician. Oh, congratulations. I think I'm destroying the set. That's a headset. Luckily, I'm sure it's fine. Ruthel, tell me about this matchup for you, because you were top of the table for your team. I think by the end of it, it looked like you were having a very, very good game. And if you could turn around so that the wonderful people at home can see your face.
For sure. Just played my game. Lots of entries. Felt really good. Felt comfortable as a team. And that's how it's going to be the entire event.
All right, well, it seems like over time you as an individual player have grown both inside and out of the game. How would you say you are feeling with regards to your own performance right now overall?
I feel good. The boot camp really helped me get back into form. I notice when I don't have a lot of hours, I tend to be more sloppy with my play style, and I can't just always rely on aim. So when I play more, I play smart.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Russell RVD, for that interview. I'm going to leave the final words with Nitro, the man in the middle. Would you like to say anything to everybody at home?
Keep supporting us, and we're going to keep playing well.
Yeah, there's a round of applause coming from the room there for those wonderful words from Nitro. Let's head back to the desk.
Wow. The man knows how to get his fans fired up. But jokes aside, Team Liquid do look cool, calm, and collected. They collect a win as well, and that's, of course, in the face of adversity. They did concede the pistol on the first gun round, Chad.
Yeah, a 16-9 could be considered one of those scorelines that could be relatively close if a clutch round went either way, but you have to consider this matchup. Out of the 9 rounds they won, 7 of which were against pistols, and that comes down to the decision-making of Liquid early to go for those 3 4-sport. They had the pistol round, which they lost. They 4-sport. They 4-sport again based off all that damage, and then they held on to whatever was left on that 3rd round, took it into the 4th, didn't invest, saved an AK, go around to the 5th round. Elige has an AK on that B bomb site, gets an ace, and from there, seemed like one-way traffic for the Liquid guys.
Yeah, it was never close at all, to be quite honest. Second half as well, HellRaisers is picking up the pistol. You think to yourself, it's 10-8 at one point, I believe, and then this could be close. But then again, win the first buy round and Liquid just like run away with it. I feel Twist, Elige, Nitro, Nafly for that matter, Taco had a great game.
Yes.
Like they all showed, what they're capable of without even showing it all.
There was 2 1vx situations in that game, and they were both 1v2s. Taco won his and Elige won theirs. So when you're having rounds like that, when you're able to convert in those situations, and Twist said he was feeling comfortable with the opening kills. I think he had 4 opening kills. That's always a good stat line. On the other side of things, Angel had 3 opening kills but 6 opening deaths. Now that kind of features into his in-game leadership style that we were talking about, leading from the front. That is going to happen when you're not one of the highest skilled players on the team, but when it does work, you're able to get into a game. Wasn't to be this time around.
And a stat that's not there that is kind of mind-boggling is Liquid as a unit had 22 multi-kill rounds. That's a whole lot of fragging from everyone involved. I mean, like, you can look down that list, every single part of them. The lowest multi-frags were from Naf and Nitro with just, only 3 multi-kill rounds. But Twist was so fun to watch in that one. I don't know about you, Jacob, but I can't help but feel he does seem to be one of those players that just when it's working, it just looks easy. He was entering into A, and it just looked like everything was going to plan.
It looks super easy when he's doing a good job, and he has, he said it himself in the interview as well, his aim is just on point.
Right.
There's not much you can do about a guy like that young, that much confidence as well. It's one of those players that I think for the future will be a big star. It's also one of the players who's taking a little bit of the starlight away from Elige, if you may say so. Like Elige used to be this young prospect from NA, and a lot of guys thought to themselves that this is going to be the next big star, but it's all like they combine each other right now together with Nafly, and that trio, as you were describing, in the pre-game segment, it's going to be deadly for any team. Like it's literally only Astralis, I feel, that have found a way to shut them down.
Yeah. Sure. I think in that scenario, right, when you do have players who can all consider to be the best player in the team, let's say you had Naf firing at 100%, but that meant Elige and Twist were only firing at 50%. I'd prefer to have all 3 of them at 75%, for example, right?
It's a lot of percent.
Yeah, we got to deal with all those numbers. You got to look at the 2 gun rounds they lost as well. One on the first half, on the CT side was Twist going hyper aggressive out the second mid window and dying, giving a 4v5 away, and then able to convert the power play was that of HellRaisers, and then the other one was the CT gun round where Woxy got 2 AWP kills. So in the scheme of things, you're going to look at this as Liquid and just be like, nice, easy day at the office.
Nice, easy day at the office. Not for HellRaisers. They'll bring up the head-to-head so you can see the 2 players we pitted against one another at the start of the game. It was Naf and Issa. Issa, of course, required to be that fragging superstar, and it didn't stop him from being at the top of the table. 20 frags, quite a stark contrast top from bottom. Yes, he pulled his weight, in fact, close to the top of the scoreboard in the server. The likes of Dead Fox, Bondic, and even Woxic were struggling to breach 10, just 11 for Woxic at the breach.
It's not like HellRaisers is going to go away from the match and feel they didn't do well. It's more like them admitting to the fact that Liquid is just on another level right now.
Sure.
HellRaisers shouldn't be sad about losing to a Team Liquid that is probably going to cruise through this one 3-0. So for HellRaisers' sake, it's all good. They got a sick win yesterday against North. They got a decent matchup here. They had some, they won the pistol rounds. That's something to take away. It's going to be best of 1 the next 2 games for them at least as well. So if they can drive on that momentum and maybe even out a little bit of those mistakes, get FACEIT fired up again. He has a rough game, didn't really show anything. Then HellRaisers is in a good spot as well. Yeah. So it's not that HellRaisers didn't do good. It's just that Liquid is certainly on a different level right now.
So almost it's a case of just don't let this loss affect the rest of your games.
Don't let it get to you. No.
The only thing with HellRaisers is if this was a best of 3 scenario, they could have had one of their better maps come through the pool and it would have been more competitive. Something which they've played quite well on, like a Dust 2, maybe even an Overpass. You could test the AWPA Nitro of Liquid, and it may have been more of a competitive series. But on Inferno, that's what I was saying in the pre-game, on the Infernos, on the Mirages, on the Caches, this is just where that solid unit of Liquid will shine and can't do much.
Yeah, I was talking to Daps actually just earlier on in the day. He was saying that like when they scrimmed Liquid, 30 rounds, they got 4.
It's pretty
Their
good.
Inferno, this is an Inferno. It's a scary prospect. Now, Chad, you did request to take a look at a bit of a replay. Which one? What would you want to show us?
Yeah, I just want to point out to people at home the very fine details of Counter-Strike, and I've titled this The Basics, and it's just having a player, when you're setting up for an attack on a bomb site, facing the other way. Now, this seems a little bit ridiculous, but you can see the player looking into the wall here. If a pop flash comes in, he is turned in the opposite direction so that he can quickly trade his teammate. There it is. You see the front guy gets flashed, he just steps out, takes the firefight, and from that point, that is just the basics of Counter-Strike that people at home, people who are just playing the matchmaking, just the FACEIT pugs, they may not realize, but these little details are what makes a difference from that player stepping out and getting a 3 kill in apps to stepping out and getting absolutely destroyed.
Can we see that again?
You want to see it one more time?
Just to want to see it one more time with the preface given now that it is just because the flash came in. It actually worked. It's not just like a, hey, this could have worked. It actually worked.
Yeah, it did. It blind up the guy standing in the front there, right? That's the whole, exactly.
Straight.
And those are the little details, especially when you're posturing and you're waiting to hit a site, that if you don't have your fundamentals down and the basics locked into position, you may forget to do. And in this scenario, just simple as that. You're about to see the flash comes in
and
first
Twist
blind.
is having none of
There you
it.
go. See how the front guy and the back guy were flashed, but the guy in the middle facing in the other direction wasn't blind at all.
And Twist goes on to get himself a double. I think he tagged for the 3rd as well. Fantastic stuff from Team Liquid, and that's just why Counter-Strike is a beautiful game. Intricacies upon intricacies. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I think we should probably go ahead and get ready to take a break. But first, of course, let's take stock and have a little look at how the things are looking and shaping up here for day 2 of the FACEIT Major. Another game in the books.
So here's the exciting part with Rogue versus Astralis next. We're going to have the 4 teams who will be 2-0 locked in, and when we get over tomorrow, the Swiss with a twist comes into play, and that's where they kind of get a nice little ranking, a seeding, so to speak, and we'll get our matchups and see who the team will be going 3-0. So this is where like the opening matchup for Astralis or the opening matchup for Liquid, how their opponents fare in the later stages of the day will affect who they play tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're going to have to find out how Astralis do fare versus Rogue, or rather vice versa, but that is coming up after our break. We're going to be seeing what Rogue can do when we get back from our break. Of course, we did just witness Liquid pick up a rather swift and rather comfortable victory versus the Razors of Hell. We'll be seeing more from them as they slip to the 1-win, 1-loss column. And for now, we continue with your winners as we look to see who will have 2 in that win column after the break.